So what I realized, and I'm going to play a little clip in case you guys are unfamiliar with the one and only Ann Coulter. I'm going to play this little clip, and we're going to explain why she is an election savant.
And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump. I especially like.
What about of all of them? I mean, Scott Walker.
Laughter from the audience.
Scott Walker, would you say?
Of the ones who aren't declared, no, Romney Walker's my ticket.
Romney Walker. See, but last time you said.
So this was back on Real Time with Bill Maher, June 19th, 2015, and you guessed that Trump was going to win, and then he did. And then in 2020, you were not a fan of Trump. You were off of Trump, and then he lost. So it's clear to me that Ann Coulter is the deciding factor for our election. So I must know, what are your thoughts heading into 2024?
If I could just say what's going to happen and then have it happen like a magician, I would definitely say the communist dingbat is losing. I think Kamala is the craziest, most left-wing, and dangerous for the country presidential candidate we've ever had. But on the other hand, half the country really, really, really hates Trump. So I have to say, all year I've been saying, I was for DeSantis, and I've been saying Trump's going to lose, Trump's going to lose, Trump's going to lose. The night of the the presidential debate, Biden-Trump presidential debate, at that point I went 50-50. And then they substituted Biden for Kamala. I'm still 50-50. The polls are at 50-50. I've noticed recently that Republicans seem very, very confident, and Democrats seem
confident,
very depressed. But I just sent out a Substack on this because, something really interesting in the New York Times today. They had, before the 2016 election, they were so cocksure that Hillary was going to win. They mocked up the cover of the newspaper, huge 3-inch headlines, Madam President. And they had already written a special edition that was going to run that Thursday, The Shattered Ceiling. And they listed every single woman at the newspaper had some special take on it. Like Friedman would be writing about, the style, her outfits that got her to the White House, and what do we call the first gentleman? So anyway, they had all these articles. What would our founding mothers think about that? That was, what's her name? That woman, writer I can't stand, Gail Collins. That was her first line. And they just had to scrap all their special edition and their headlines. And I think the 2016 election was so traumatizing to liberals that they're just always depressed, and they always think they're going to lose, even if they're going to win. Nate Silver had a piece this week, I don't know, maybe it was yesterday, about how he's not trusting the polls this last week. He thinks that they're all, dovetails with my point. He thinks they're all afraid of, if they say Harris is going to win and then Trump wins, of being made fun of. Oh my gosh, how could you get it so wrong? Or I suppose the reverse. And he says that's why they're all hurting. They're all saying 50-50, even though, according to him, and this makes sense, he says, most of these polls, they're polling 300 people, they're polling 800 people. And the way you really get a sense of the polls is to mix them all together and average them. But you guys aren't telling us the truth about your 800-person poll and your 300-person poll, because if it's really 50-50, polling 800 people shouldn't be giving you 50-50. Some should be 57-40, and some should be the reverse. And I don't know, today I was just, do you know anyone who voted for Biden who's now voting for Trump?
No.
How about the reverse? Now for Harris?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I could probably think of some vague, some neighbors or family friends that actually, there's a lady at the end of the street who voted Biden, very much regrets it, and is now slightly begrudgingly, but no, clearly Trump is the better choice. But I don't know anybody who's going to go Trump Harris.
Okay, that's my focus group of one. That gives me some hope.
Maybe my dead parents will be voting for Harris from the grave, but that's it.
And also, how about all the Nikki Haley voters? Are they coming around? Are they going to vote for Trump? I
Yeah.
just feel like our side is, I definitely think our side is overconfident and their side is over depressed. And I mean, if I could go on to poly markets, I don't really know how to do that. Right now, I understand the odds are overwhelmingly with Trump. So I'd vote for Kamala just because the odds are with me. And I think it's 50-50.
Who do you think is going to win the specific swing states of Pennsylvania, Nevada, North Carolina, what is it, Arizona, and Georgia?
Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh boy, those are the big ones. It's funny. The one that I think Harris is going to win is Michigan, but only because I feel like they're going to cheat enough. And I don't want to encourage people to think that it's all done by Democrats have always cheated. We've still managed to
Fortifying. Yes.
fortifying. We've still managed to win our elections, and I hope that happens this time. But I don't know. I mean, you named the states that we'll be watching very closely. I guess we'll probably get, well, the East Coast ones first, the North Carolina and Pennsylvania. And that's going to tell us a lot on election night.
And Kamala's losing with Muslims. I think Trump made, God, I think it's the Muslims in Michigan because of her stance on because of the Israel-Palestine conflict. And she's always getting at least one or two protesters at every rally and speech she does, just like in the back, like, cawing about the war, like, free Palestine. And she'll just be like, okay, I know you need to be heard, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure people know about that. Like, she's not even saying I'm going to do what I can to end the war. Like, the clip that's going around is like, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that that's heard. But I am speaking. Like, she comes off like such a see you next Tuesday to say that at her rallies. And she says it just about once every time now.
And the weird thing is, I don't think we've ever had a president who's sucked up to Israel more, and I'm in favor of it, but than Donald Trump. So if it's really about, and also, in her heart that Kamala is totally with Hamas. Of course she is. They're always on the side of, the indigenous, the uncivilized against the civilized. It makes total sense that she's got to be for Hamas. Trump's a decent person. He wants the war to end. He wants it to stop. And I think he would end it pretty quickly because, I think it's already leaked out that he's put pressure on Bibi. I get to wrap this up before I get into the office. So he does apparently have influence with Bibi Netanyahu. But I think I worked for at the time, the only Arab senator. I wonder if we've had any since then. Anyway, Spence Abraham from Michigan. And a lot of the Muslims are Republicans. They're just Republicans. They don't like the transgender stuff. It's only the more recent ones where we start to get more like the peasants, like the Venezuelans we're getting now. This is in my book, Adios America, but pre-1970 immigrants and the post Ayatollah immigrants, so that's a little later in the 70s, they were educated, they were doctors, it was a totally different brand of Muslim and of every immigrant, and they tended to be Republicans. So I think that's why they're going for Trump.
And even if you think he's been a disappointment, isn't it worth voting for Trump just to ensure that Alito and Thomas are replaced by conservatives and we maintain a 6-3 court?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes. No, and especially compared to the plans the Democrats have for us. Yes, and they will pack the court. By the way, if any of you are voting in any Senate elections, please, please, please vote Republican, because even if that communist dingbat gets in, if we just have a majority in the Senate, we can probably prevent the complete dismantling of our country. But yes, for the judges, you would vote for Trump. The other reason I had for voting for Trump, and I already voted and I did vote for Trump, was because if he loses again, Chrissy, he's going to run in 4 years. And every 4 years,
he's going to
be for the rest of life.
He's going to be old. How old is he going to be in 4 years? What is he? How old is he now?
78. I told you, I looked up
78.
the actuarial tables. He'll probably be fine.
They'll pump him with enough vitamins and McDonald's to keep going.
He says he's not going to, but as I said to the person who just called in and corrected me on his quote on Marie, I don't know how to say her last name, on Bartoloma.
But yeah, Marie Bartoloma.
Yeah, take everything he says with a grain of salt. He says he won't run again in 4 years. No, not again. Let's get this over.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.